Hello everybody and welcome back to another Zippo video. Today's going to be a little different than the normal. Today I'm going to show you 3 Zippos instead of 1. And today I have for you the entire series, set, collection, not sure exactly what you want to call it, but all of the antique Zippos, all of the antique finishes. So you have the antique silver plate, the antique copper, and the antique brass. So I'm going to show all of you them today. So let's go ahead and open them all first. Here is the antique silver plate. Here is the antique copper. And here is the antique brass. This one has the Tree of Life emblem on there. So this one is a little different than the rest. Now, if you want to know the exact model numbers of these, so you can look them up on their website or whatever, I will put those down in the description of this video, just because if I tried to put all the names with the model numbers of all 3 of these, I wouldn't be able to fit it in the title. So I will just put it in the description so you can have the exact model numbers if you want to look them up. So let's go ahead and take these out of here. I will show you them all up close, and let me just say, I am a big fan of the antique series. I really do like how these look. So here we go. I'll show you them all together first and then individually. So here you go. You can get a good view of them. We'll start with the antique silver plate. So go ahead and take a look at this. I really love how they do the antique finish and the antique process. Just turns out really, really well. And I don't know if it's like a coating they put on these Zippos after they antique them, but they have a very, very nice smooth texture to them. Even though they look kind of distressed and look like they might be rough, they're very smooth. And you can actually see the antiquing process has a little bit of a, it does something to the bottom stamp there. So just a little interesting. But yeah, check that out. You can see all of that. Very, very nice. Now, there are armor case variations of all of these. So let's say your favorite is the antique brass, but you like armor cases. All of these antique models do have armor case versions. So if you want and you like the thicker case, then that is available. So let's give you some Zippo sound. I'm only going to do it for one of them because I don't think there's any point of doing it for all 3 of them. So there we go. So this is the antique silver plate. This was made in, let's see, C of 2021. Here is the antique copper, which was made in, I believe that's an I of 2019, right here. Check that out. I love the antique copper. It just looks really nice, especially under the studio lights that I have. It just turns out really, really beautiful. So there we go. There is the antique copper. And then here is the antique brass, which again, this one has the Tree of Life on it. So it's not just your, standard plain Zippo. But take a look at that. I love how they did this. It looks great with the antique as it is. The antique brass looks very, very good. But just this Tree of Life engraving that they did in here is very well done. Even all these like individual little tree branches on there are very clean, and they're not sloppy. And just very crisp lines. Just very, very well done. So yeah, all of these have your standard Zippo insert in here. So there you go. Now, if you want, I've seen other people do this, take a brass insert out of another Zippo and put it in here. If you like that, that's up to you. But yeah, so let's talk price on these. All of these go for, I believe, 30 bucks, at least on Zippo's website. They're all, I think, like $29.95, basically 30 bucks. Each for these. I think this Tree of Life one is a little more expensive. I think it might be like 35 because it has, the little engraving on the front. But $30 each for these, which isn't bad. And that's from their website, so you might be able to find them cheaper somewhere else. But all in all, if you get like all 3 of these at once, you're paying under $100 $90 for all three of these base antique models, and that's pretty good. And it's a really cool set to have. Again, the copper, the brass, the silver, they all look really good. They're all super, super nice. So I can definitely recommend them if you're into the whole antique finish thing. As I said, there are armor case versions of all of them. So yeah, I figured I would just show all three of the antique Zippos for you. Now, one last thing before I end the video, as is my new tradition on this channel with these videos, is I'm going to show you a knife along with these Zippos. Now, normally I would try to pair a knife with the Zippo to where they can, relate in some way. Unfortunately, I just couldn't really come up with anything that matched these three Zippos, so I just pulled what was out of my pocket. And what's in my pocket today is a Alliance Design Kevin Foster anchovy. Check that out. Isn't that beautiful? This is not a custom knife. It's like a semi-custom production, custom thing here, but it is an absolute beautiful piece. Love this thing. Absolutely glorious. It's a lot bigger than you think it would be. You think, especially from pictures, that it's a small knife, but it is not. It is quite large. But either way, that about wraps it up. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time.